What's going on, Built by BENDY Team? Thanks for checking out this week's stretch class. Today we're going to be doing another full body assessment just so that we can make sure that we're moving forward towards our mobility and our flexibility goals. Because again, we're not here to check boxes, we're here to get results. We're here to get results. We're here to earn results. We're here to work hard to see the benefits of everything that we're putting in here. So I want you to find a comfortable place that we can get a little bendy today, and let's get started. Alrighty team, we're gonna jump right into it. We're gonna start with our upper body, kind of work our way down. And the first one that we're gonna be doing is working on our neck to see how much mobility and flexibility we have within our neck, because this is a place that we really commonly store a lot of stress, a lot of trauma, lots of things like that. So how we're gonna get started is today is going to be more of a active range of motion type of assessment. So go ahead and follow along. The first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna take our left hand and we're gonna place it behind our back, nothing too crazy. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop our right ear to our right shoulder and create a good stretch here. We don't wanna hike up here through our shoulder. We wanna keep it in a good place there. Feeling a good stretch throughout our neck, into our trap a little bit on this one. Before we come back up, go ahead and rotate it. Drop that ear back down to our shoulder. And again, I wanna see how deep we can get into this range of motion as we go out of it and then back in. Another thing that I really want you to pay attention to is your breathing. I want to make sure we're not gritting through the stretch, that we're not holding our breath, that we're able to get big, deep breaths to stay in control of our nervous system so our body's not in fight or flight. Go ahead, drop that left ear to our left shoulder, and then going right back, right shoulder, right ear. Big, deep breaths. And again, with our neck, we don't need to take it into a super deep stretch where we're feeling any pain or anything like that. Just a nice light stretch is all we need to see good increases week to week. But this is something ideally we get our ear closer and closer to our shoulder here on this other side over time. Beautiful. Go ahead and shake it out before we take our right hand behind our back. And same thing, left ear is going to go to left shoulder. I know for myself, I want you to kind of pay attention to what sides you're feeling a little bit tighter on. I know for me, this is definitely a tighter side on my neck personally. And it's really common, just like stuff we do throughout our day-to-day lives, depending on what sports you played, what games you played growing up, if you're a parent, what your job entails. That kind of stuff is going to dictate what side you hold, your muscles are shorter and tighter on. And so you need to make sure that you're working to get symmetrical on both sides. Go ahead and bring that head up, dropping right ear to right shoulder before we take it left ear to left shoulder. Keeping that head, again, make sure we're not hiking up in the shoulder. This all stays in the same spot. The only thing that is moving is gonna be our neck. Big deep breath, drop that ear to opposite side before we take it for the final one. Left ear to left shoulder, keeping this one in place, and big deep breaths, not forcing anything. We're just kind of letting gravity do the work here, creating a nice little stretch. If you have any pain, you might be pushing yourself a little too far. Again, a little goes a long way with these. Beautiful. Go ahead and shake that out for me. Do some big circles going to the right, then to the left, before we come out to center. So first thing, again, we're gonna be holding really good posture throughout this one. We're gonna be checking how well we're opening through our chest and our shoulders. So we're gonna interlock our fingers, put them right behind our head. And what we're gonna do is take a big deep breath, and we're gonna inhale as we open up, exhale as we close down. We're gonna round through our back, touching those elbows in front of us, creating a good little stretch there throughout kind of our shoulder blade area. That's going to be your rhomboids, to just get a good little pull there. Make sure you're pairing your breathing with this one. Go ahead and open up, extend through the spine, try to get your chest to the ceiling. Close back down, round through, touch those elbows out in front. Back open, we got two more. Big deep breath, inhale. Go ahead and exhale, close off. We're gonna make this last one our biggest one. Inhale, opening up. Try to extend through that spine, extend those elbows out. Exhale, close to touch those elbows one last time. Beautiful, back to center. Shake it out. Beautiful. We should have lots of blood flow going on up in these areas. Now we're going to go ahead and get into a laying position to do some lumbar twists. So again, find a comfortable spot. What we're going to do is we're going to be laying on our side. So let's start facing our right. Our right leg is going to stay straight, left leg is going to come over, so we're in a twisted position. We're going to have some alligator arms out here in front of us, and we're going to do a cycle of 5 lumbar twists. So again, we're going to inhale as we open up. Try to look as far behind you as you can. And once you exhale up here, go ahead and shut that alligator's mouth and follow along with your breathing. I want you to keep your eyes on your hand as we open up. See how much of a twist that we can create. Anywhere that you're clenching, tightening through, let it go as we go through a cycle of 5. Good, we're halfway here with number 3. Open up. Have a little exhale as you open up before you come back to a closed position. 2 more. Exhale as you let it go at the end. Again, this can be stretching throughout your chest, maybe throughout your hips a little bit, into your back is another area we want to be feeling that. Make this your last one, best one here. Open up big, 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 big. Try to get your shoulder and your knee to the ground. Again, this is going to be a good thing that you could take some progress photos with if you have somebody around. Maybe set up a phone to create or to get some screenshots just to test how well your mobility is going. If we're not able to judge it off of like a range of motion standpoint, there's other things that you can kind of pay attention to is how fluid are you moving? How are your workouts feeling? How is your body feeling day to day? Are we struggling with one side over another? Are we feeling more balanced? These are things that are going to be good dictators that we're making good strides within our flexibility and our mobility program. So go ahead and lay on your left side. We're going to have those alligator arms out in front of us. Right leg is going to kind of dangle here in front of our left. I hope I'm saying that all right. Same thing, we're going to take a big deep inhale to open up, have our nose follow our hand to look at the back wall behind us. When we do get to this back position, exhale, try to fall a little deeper into it. And it's going to be really good to kind of, again, pay attention to what side you're personally a little bit tighter on, just so that you can work on stretching that side a little bit more. Because I mean, this is something we do want to make sure we're balanced so our body's effectively working together. If it's not, you can lead to injuries, poor performance, dealing with some annoying back pain, joint pain, things like that. We want to make sure that we have the same muscle lengths on both sides of our body. Good. Go ahead and close that one again. You got 2 more for me. Big inhale as we open up. Once you hit that back position, exhale and try to let those muscles be a little heavier. Good. Last one. Let's make this our best one. Big inhale, open up. Exhale. We're going to hang here for a second. Try to see how close we can get the knee and the shoulder up here, close to the floor or the bench or wherever you are stretching. Give me 2 inhales, 2 big inhales, 2 big exhales, and then we'll come out of it. Beautiful. Go ahead and untwist. We're going to make sure we're getting our spine into a neutral position before we pop up into anything crazy. It's looking really good. This next one, we're going to need to get situated a little bit more. So we are going to come and do a pigeon pose. So let's go ahead and start with this right leg. Plank back your left, and you're going to pull the right through, and you're going to have your knee kind of directly center with your body. Now, if you need to, you can send your left leg back to kind of create a deeper stretch. But this is going to be stretching our piriformis. That's a glute muscle here on the side. I want us to do some pigeon push-ups. So We're gonna see how low we can get. Take a big deep inhale. Exhale, pop up. Follow along with your breathing. And again, with this one, I want us to pay attention to, do we feel any pain? Is it harder to sink into one over the other? Are we clenching, tightening, trying to protect ourselves? Or are we able to relax fairly well into this one? Good. Give me 2 more here, 5 total on each leg. Exhale at the bottom before we pop up. Last one, best one. Sink down. You can even hang out on your elbows for a second. Create a good stretch throughout that piriformis before we pop up. Beautiful. Go ahead and we're going to send this leg back. If you need to shake it out, straighten up for a second before we're going to tuck this left leg up. Left foot is coming on the right side of our body. And same thing. If you need to send this leg back to create more of a stretch in that piriformis, go ahead and do so. But let's go ahead. You're going to give me 5 of these piriformis pigeon push-ups. Back up, anywhere you're clenching, let it go. Try not to grit and tighten through. Sink down deep into it. Stay in control of our breathing so that we don't send our body into a state of fight or flight. Push up. You don't know how to count because I'm a personal trainer and that's what we're famous for. So you're going to give me 2 more. Last one, best one. Hang out down here on our elbows if we can. Sink down into that glute. Big deep breaths to stay nice and in control. Try to let it go anywhere you're hanging onto that tension. Before we push up, pop up. Beautiful. Again, we're going to come back to a I was going to say supine. We're going to lay on our backs and we are going to do some knee hugs. So this is going to be really good for our glute, our low back, and even maybe, I don't know, you might feel this a little bit. My hip flexors are kind of tight because we just did a hike. So this is going to be a really good one. So I want us to take a big deep breath. Exhale. Bring your right leg up into you. Hug that knee. Give it a good little squeeze. Give me an inhale, exhale, let it go. Plant that leg, then we're gonna bring that left leg up before we give it a little squeeze. We're gonna do 6 total of these, so 3 on each side. And I just want us going really slow and controlled with this motion, trying to bring that knee a little closer to our chest each time. So give it a little bit more of a squeeze. If you've got some tight hip flexors, it might be a little uncomfortable here in this area, but again, just make sure that you are trying to let go, not like, again, flexing in any of these muscles. We want to relax as much as we can into these positions, just so that our muscles can maintain the new length that we're developing. Good. Let's see, this is the 3rd one on this side. We've got 1 more on the other side. Give this one a little tighter squeeze, hug it a little longer. Maybe do some ankle rolls with it to see how big of circles, how smooth of circles you can create with your foot. Before we send it on out. Same thing, keeping our core nice and tight as we drive this leg up into our body and give it a good little squeeze at the top. Good. Send it out. Go ahead and wiggle around as needed before we jump into our final one. So this is going to be one of our bigger ranges of motion. I really like this one because it's going to test our hip flexors, our hamstrings, a lot of these lower body ones. So I want us to send our right leg out. We're going to be in a deep kneeling position. So we want to try to send this foot as far as, or this knee over our toes. Anybody that says knees are bad over toes, find yourself a new trainer, because I mean, our bodies are built to move, baby, so we gotta keep them moving, wiggling. So, as we are in this deep lunge position, we're gonna shift our weight back into the half splits. If that's kind of hard, you can, if like this is as far as we can get, that's okay. You can stop yourself with your hands. But ideally, we want to be able to sit back on this leg as much as possible, getting a good stretch all throughout this hamstring, maybe into this calf a little bit before we send it forward again, getting that knee as far over our toe as we can. This is going to be a good one for stretching our hip flexor on our left side, but then also checking how our range of motion is in our ankle, creating a little stretch here down on the lower part of the calf. And sending it back, nice and controlled. I don't want us flopping or like being abrupt with any of these motions. We just want to go nice, slow, and controlled the whole time. Same thing anywhere you're tightening up, try to let it go. Last one, we send it forward on this right leg. Good, and ideally we're getting a little further each time into these positions. Beautiful. Send it on back. Stretching out through this right leg, trying to sit back on this left foot. Beautiful. Okay, go ahead and switch sides for me. Same thing, we're going to come into a deep lunge position with the left foot forward. We're going to feel a good stretch here throughout our hip flexor, trying to drive our knee as far over our toes as we can. Big deep inhale, exhale, send it on back, nice and slow. If you need to stop yourself, if this is as far as we can go, that's okay. You can even shift that foot out a little bit more. But ideally, I want to see how far back we can sit on this right leg. For me, this is definitely a tougher one. This is my surgical knee that's been giving me some issues since me and Wes played in the volleyball tournament. So this is a good one to really check in that I have a lot of tightness going on through this right leg. We're going to send our weight forward, getting a deep stretch here in the calf, as well as the hip flexor over here. Send this weight on back. You guys, this is a really good one because it does challenge us to have the range of motion to kind of sink back into these positions, to get a good deep stretch in multiple muscle groups while pushing ourselves out of it. And again, it's okay, like I said, this one's a lot weaker for me right now, so it's one that I need to pour a little bit more energy into to get it balanced out. But that's exactly what we're doing today. We're checking in, seeing how things are going. If you ever need some personal recommendations, or if you want to try out one-on-one or some assisted stretching, I'm here for you. I got Bendy with Bai, where I do in-home stretches, or I have a location that we're going to be able to go to very, very soon, so that we can do an assessment and get your body effectively working together. Let it go anywhere that you are clenching. Beautiful job, team. Go ahead and come out of that one. I know that one can be very challenging, but over time, that's what we want to be doing with these bendy stretch classes, is making these range of motions smooth and fluid. And again, that's when our body's going to be operating the way that it should, and us not running into pain or anything like that. And it's good to just check in with how our body is moving from a stretching mobility side of things, because then it's going to translate over into our workouts. Are we lifting more weights? Are we getting faster and not breathing as heavy? Are we able to utilize oxygen better? There's so many benefits of making sure that you are staying on top of your flexibility and mobility programming. And it's something that gets neglected so often. So that's what we're here to do with these once a week stretch classes, is to kind of incorporate a very well-rounded fitness program going along with the Built by Bai workouts. So I hope you guys enjoy. If there's anything that I can do for you, if you need some form feedback, if you need some personalized stretching, anything like that, please reach out. That's what I'm here for. But I'm so dang grateful for you guys. I hope you have a great week ahead of you, and I will see you on next week's Bendy Stretch class.